Hi class! This video tutorial will walk you through the steps for installing R and RStudio on your Windows operating system. You're probably running a Windows operating system if you're using a Dell or an HP computer, or there are other brands that also run Windows operating systems. If you're using a Macintosh computer, then you're running the Mac operating system, and you'll want to watch my other tutorial video for how to install R and RStudio on a Mac. All right, let's get started. The first thing that you'll want to do is navigate to our Canvas course website. This video is set up for students enrolled in Biology 229 at University of Tennessee. I'm the course coordinator for Biology 229, and my name is Dr. Pyle. On our Canvas site, you will scroll down to within modules to where you see our data analysis module. Under data analysis, there's a few links that you'll find helpful. There's the R download link and the RStudio link. I also have a couple of other links for if you have trouble. This is where you'll find the YouTube videos as well as documentation for installing on a Windows and a Mac. So if you would rather follow a step-by-step written document, this is where you'll want to find those documents. So the first thing you want to do is locate within this module the data files and the R scripts. So there are 4 files that end with .csv, and these are our files that have the data that we will analyze for this activity. There's also 4 files that end with .r, and these are the R scripts that contain all the code that you'll be running in R. You want to download each one of these and save them into a folder on your computer. So to download them, you'll click on the link. It'll open up a preview. If it's a Word document, it does not show a preview for these .r files. So you just click on the hyperlink for downloading this file. After you download the file and it has completed, you can click on this folder icon to show it. Show where it's saved on your computer. And then from there, you can drag and drop this file into an appropriate folder to use with this activity. So on this computer, I have created the stats folder, which is located on my USB drive. And I can also save it within documents or on my desktop, but I do have a folder and it has all of the data files and the .r script files that I'll be working with. After you've done that, the next step is to install R and RStudio. So you will navigate to this website. It's located at the top of that Word document that has the step-by-step instructions for downloading and installing everything. This website has links for installing R and for installing RStudio. So step 1 is to install R, and that's our programming language. You might have heard of different programming languages like Python or C or C++, HTML or Java. Those are different kinds of programming languages, and for this activity, we're using R. Then next, we'll install RStudio. That's the app that we will be running that programming language in. You can use the RStudio app to navigate to different files or to show the plots that you've made. There's a lot of interactive features, which is why I like to use that application. Okay, so for step 1, installing R, you want to download and install it by clicking that link, and then you'll select the hyperlink for download R for Windows here. You will see a list of options for subdirectories, and you will want to click on the link that says base. This is going to be our base R package. And if you're running Windows 10 or Windows 11, then you'll just click this top link up here. How do you know if you're running Windows 10 or 11? Down in your search bar, you can type to search for WinVer, W-I-N-V-E-R. That's our Windows version. After I hit enter, I can see this informational window pop up and that I'm running Windows 11. So this is how you can confirm which operating system you are using. So if you have 10 or 11, you can click on this link here. If you have an older version of R, you're going to want to click down here for previous releases and select the one that is best for your computer. So click here and that will open up the download installation wizard, and you can just click through that wizard to complete the installation. I wouldn't change anything from the default settings, just let it store that application within the directory that's default. Okay, when you're finished with that, you'll come back to this page and then you'll click on Install RStudio. Once you click on that, it will begin the download, and then you'll need to step through that installation wizard to complete the installation. After both of these are downloaded, you're only going to need to click on RStudio to open it. So I've already installed R and RStudio on this computer. I'll go ahead and open up RStudio so you can see what that looks like after you've installed it. So here on the left side, I have my console window. This is where all of the code will be running. You'll see in a moment that this window is going to shrink down and we'll see a new window pane pop up top. That is where I can edit all of my code. Over here, I have another window pane in the bottom right that shows all of my files. It can also show plots and different packages that I have installed. And then in the top right pane, this is my environment. It will show all of the different objects that I'm creating within R. So within the Files pane, I want to choose that folder where I have all of my files downloaded and saved to. To choose a folder, you can click over here where you see the dot, dot, dot on the right-hand side to choose a directory. When you click on that, you'll be able to navigate through your computer and select the folder where all of your data are stored. This is going to be the folder that has your .r files and your .csv files. Once you have that open, you'll be able to see all of those files that you've saved down here. The next step is to set this as your working directory. So you can click on More and then click Set as Working Directory. It will show that line of code here showing that RStudio has set this. So now anything that we create in RStudio and save will also get saved to that same folder. The next thing to do is open up our R script. So navigate down to where it says antibiotic ttest.r. This is our first R script that we'll be working with. And you can just click on that .r file to open it. And did you see it populated up here in the top left? So now I have my script file is open and it's ready for me to edit. I can edit everything up in the top left pane, and then when I run a line of code, it will run down here in the bottom left pane. You may see a line that is asking you to install ggplot2. That's a library of functions that we're going to be using. So on line number 7, we see that that library is going to be called. You may need to install that library by either clicking yes on the installation ask button, or you can go over here to packages, click on this button for install, and then we can just type ggplot2. This package is going to contain the functions for creating graphs that will be used in this tutorial. You want to make sure that the check mark is in that box for installing all of the dependencies as well. So I'm just going to click install and have it install and update my ggplot2 library. While it's running, you see a stop sign that appears here. We can stop this code from running at any point. As long as we still see that stop sign, we know that the code is still running, and so things are still happening in the background. Now the stop sign has disappeared and we know that the installation has completed. At this point, you're ready to start working on your first analysis. So if you're in the Biology 229 class, you'll need to upload a screenshot of this setup for your homework assignment. So you'll want to scroll back up within the console to where we see that line that says set WD or set working directory. Once you see that line, you'll be able to take a screenshot of this, which shows your working directory files over here and that line of code that has successfully run. So you'll be able to watch another video in this series on how to run your first t-test using RStudio.